Hi, hey, hello, it's Sunny, and welcome back, my music peeps, to an album review. Bob Marley and the Wailers. This is one of those artists everybody has to know by now. He's very iconic. His whole band is. He's like the definitive, at least mainstream reggae artist. And a Jamaican music artist overall. And he's a legend. Even as a kid, I knew who he was. I listened to a bunch of his classic songs, and of course, I've never listened to any of his albums before. So when I wanted to do an album review on one of his records eventually, which one could I do of? He's made a bunch. And the world lended me to Exodus. What is, debatably recognized as probably his best record ever, or definitely for sure one of his best. So I thought, hey, why not? Let's get into the reggae Jamaican flair of his iconic music and really understand like his true peak, or at least one of his moments of true peakness in terms of overall musical genius, by checking out and reviewing Bob Marley and the Wailers' Exodus. Let's review. At this time of the record's release, Bob Marley was already a mainstream figure, even being compared as like a Jamaican equivalent to Bob Dylan in terms of his overall poetic attributes. And he was seen as kind of a key figure of political influence, and a lot of crazy stuff happened when it came to the creation of this album, almost an assassination attempt and everything. It's all, researchable. And, he wanted to create an album that kind of boosted his overall, propaganda, or just his overall beliefs of peace and equality. And he got a lot of inspiration from the punk genre, and thus he wanted to add more of a punk aesthetic to the record, but it didn't become like a full punk genre, just more so in him just wanting to bring out freedom and revolution through his music, and thus he created Exodus. Natural Mystic is a very great opener. It feels like the perfect cold open to like a film, with how it perfectly starts setting up the LP's hands by establishing how there's something off about the atmosphere. It feels very unnatural mystic, mystical and everything. A low down melody and a nice tone to it that feels wobbly as reggae can be. It's never fully outlandish, and it perfectly sets in the mood for the overall album. So much things to say. It's overall spinning facts. It really is. It depicts how many people, how they have a lot of things to say, talking about how corrupted the world can become, from how figures can be betrayed, the non-guilty punished, and how wickedness prevails everywhere. It's sad yet truthful, and has a very melancholic attitude in the overall writing, and I think that's quite fantastic. It also does a good job at nurturing a positive energy. Guiltiness, from the title, obviously the song is very self-explanatory. How it entails greed, at least from my analysis. It seems though it showcases how greedy individuals can be, whether or not they should feel guilty or how they do feel guilty. How the smaller fishes are consumed by the bigger. Our own desire for needs can corrupt us, and the very straight up vocal harmony from the Wailers it just feels like an overall roller coaster of a tone with its fun mix of thrown in notes and sounds to make this feel like a very teaching yet bouncy track, and it's quite compelling. The Heathen is a very memorable overall chorus and simplistic idea of standing up for what's right, and how sweet victory feels, with a mellow and repetitive tone to it that makes it dense and stringed together for a very enjoyable melody. Exodus is obviously the, title of the album, and obviously this track sharing that makes it stand out, and it really does. It's a breathtaking 7-minute masterpiece of a track that's by far the best of the LP thus far. With it being as all long songs do, and despite it repeating itself over and over, throwing in subtle new elements into the overall melody and mix to keep it refreshing, and it's quite addictive, and it's just overall peak musical composition. Jamming, for sure, probably maybe my personal favorite track off the album. It's definitely a great song overall. It's a classic, it's iconic, everybody knows what it is. It's just jamming. We just all want to jam, have a good time, be vibing, and the song perfectly contains that feeling and overall sound with its incredible mix and flow and overall sound wave. It's just oozing so much aura too. It's a classic. You know what this song is. It's a classic. I don't gotta explain myself. It's a classic song. Waiting in Vain, I think, is kind of an overall track on the album. I love how Marley can take simple concepts we've all seen a million times before and somehow make it the most refreshing sense of musical sound ever. With this one being compelling in its writing, showing how simplicity is key to enduring poetic music. It's just overall, it has a very Sunday morning blue skies feel to it and its overall texture, and it's just a very enjoyable song that puts you at ease. Turn Your Lights Down Low, very sweet, tender, blissful, and overall sincere, with a song about wishing to provide love to a generous person, with a more nighttime comforting vibe to it. Solid keys and a great range of backup vocals to really hone in on this song's almost lo-fi sounding swimming in your dreams aesthetic, and I generally love that feeling. Three Little Birds, a classic song. I feel like everybody should know this one as well. It's the ultimate mellow feeling song. It comforts you, that doesn't want you to worry. It makes you feel like chilling out on the couch and vibing to the very essence of life. It just gives off a really good vibe, and it's got a great emotional state to it, and its simplicity once again just makes this song iconic. One Love, People Get Ready, perfect closer. This album kind of started off feeling like a cold open to a movie, and the first few tracks, well, though they weren't trying to make you feel negative, they were bringing up negative things about the world that need to be talked about. And so for this final song to be just a pure, peaceful, and positive, enduring song is just perfect, and it's greatly portrayed. Marley, this is for sure one of his definitive songs. It just celebrates such great power and love, and everything about the overall sound of it is just pure beautiful, pure soul, pure spirit, and it perfectly ends the album in a great way. Overall, obviously I have to listen to his discography, and maybe one day I will, but until that day, I can totally see why this album is for sure one of his best. I mean, even as a kid, even though I never listened to the whole album and a lot of these songs were brand new to me, some of them are very much iconic, but yet every song is of equal quality. Not, the few songs that are iconic are much better than the other ones, so therefore this album's good just because of a few songs. No, every song is generally worthy of being iconic. The overall theme of this album, trying to bring out peace, talking about negative things, trying to bring peace and positivity to everything. It's just beautiful, it's great, and it's not just, it can be simplistic, but it's never in a generic way. It's simplicity that makes it complex and compelling and puts so much charm into it by Bob Marley and the Wailers. And overall, it's just a great album. It's a great reggae album. It's distinct, and it overall showcases why this band stands out in history. And overall, those were my thoughts on Exodus by Bob Marley and the Wailers. Hope you enjoyed this album review. And overall, it's been sunny and so long. Farewell and goodbye, my music peeps.